There's only one other half of the equation of emotion they need to understand to be able to map your entire emotional landscape. And then also map the things that you will react to create emotional reactions that will drive you into action. And so now, with these algorithms, at a scope of 8 billion people, at a granularity of knowing what each individual might need to hear to evoke emotional reaction that would influence them to take a particular action, including with a simulated voice of your kids, delivering you a message over the phone, or through deepfake video, they can emotionally influence the whole world population by sending you the exact thing you need to see or hear to get you to take action, whatever action they want you to take, based on whatever they send you personally. And then they can do the same thing for everybody else. And at that point, it doesn't matter who runs a government somewhere. If you control the populace, you control the world. And I figured all this stuff out in my head, evidenced by the fact that I have written the best book on human emotions currently available. And the world-leading experts at MIT said, yeah, that's it. You got it. So I might know what I'm talking about. My point is, you need to know they're coming for them. They want to come into my house hot and heavy, grab all my hard drives, even though I destroyed the data. Intelligence community operatives are trying to hack my electronics constantly. And this isn't my paranoia. Check out what happened 2 videos ago. I caught them. You can certainly try to say that this is bullshit, or the government doesn't want to be able to emotionally manipulate every individual on the planet, but I know you aren't that gullible. Now, I've told the intelligence community who's contacted me multiple times that I don't want to be that guy, but it seems that they don't want to take no for an answer on this one. What lengths do you think they'd go to? So if all of a sudden I become some major drug dealer or some other kind of major lawbreaker that's reprehensibly disgusting, don't believe it. If you hear a story of me resisting arrest, it's bullshit. I love you guys, each and every one of you, and I want you guys to be happy and healthy for the rest of your life and pass that down to your kids. We will change the world. I got 2 days, blow this up.
I'm Peter Doshi. For identification purposes, I'm on the faculty at the University of Maryland and editor at the BMJ. I have no relevant conflicts of interest, and my comments today are my own. In pharmacy school, I teach a required course on how to critically appraise the medical literature. We train students on how to go beyond a study abstract and start to pick apart and critically assess biomedical studies, not just take them at face value. I want to use my 5 minutes here to harness that spirit of critical thinking. I'm saddened that we are supersaturated as a society right now in the attitude of everybody knows that has shut down intellectual curiosity and led to self-censorship. So let me start with a few everybody knows examples that I'm not sure we should be so certain about. Everybody knows that this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. But if hospitalizations and deaths were almost exclusively occurring in the unvaccinated, why would booster shots be necessary? Or why would the statistics be so different in the UK, where most COVID hospitalizations and deaths are among the fully vaccinated, as Senator Johnson said? There's a disconnect there. There's something to be curious about. There's something not adding up, and we should all be asking, is it true that this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated? What does that even mean? Next slide, please. Then there's this. Everybody knows that COVID vaccines save lives. In fact, we've known this from early 2021. The clinical trials proved that to be the case, as you can see here in the quote of a February article in the Journal of the American Medical Association. But is it true? When that statement by prominent public health officials was penned, there had been just one death across the 70,000 Pfizer and Moderna trial participants. Today we have more data, and you can see that there were similar numbers of deaths in the vaccine and placebo groups. The trials.
The dangers of eating Cheetos part 1. Number 1, it made me black. Like, you're probably thinking to yourself, you're lying. I'm not lying. Like, literally, when I ate a Cheeto, I turned black on spot. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, before, I was a white male. But then, when I ate the Cheeto, I became black. Like, it's just so crazy because it's dangerous. Why? Because I can't go back to my original self. Like, I'm black for life. So like, Cheetos have to be off the shelves. Like, people can't buy these no more. It's bad for like the America and just everybody as a whole. Like, y'all think I'm playing around. Like, I'm not being disingenuous. I'm being so serious. Like, this isn't jokes. So like, in all honesty, don't eat Cheetos no more.
You guys get the vaccine yet? Oh yeah, I got mine online. We'll see what happens.
The thing about entertainers is they have a stronger satanic anointing because they initiate masses at one time. This is the reason why every concert you went to, they get you to participate.
Put your fucking horns up. Let's go. Don't die. Wait.
Come on, get into the ritual. At some point in the concert, there's a serious throw your sign up, some type of serious thing that begins to happen, and the people feel this synergy. It's a synergy happening. What happened is the spirit, but in that over that person or in that person is now manifested and it's now receiving your applause to the idol as praise and worship to itself. This is the reason why the artists and entertainers have to be sold out demonically. That's why they have to be satanic, because the spirit that's giving them the power to manipulate folk, they may be doing it for riches, but the devil's using them to initiate folks into his kingdom. Those spirits have to be fed. So once those people get into that industry, they must start feeding the demon that is giving them the power. You see these little girls, these Britney Spears and Miley Cyrus, and they keep doing it over and over again, because once these little girls get into the true industry and they get one of them fallen angel spirits, because them is the ones that possess masses of people, they're going to use one of them. Oh, y'all don't want to talk about this. They get one of them high-ranking demons, and all of a sudden they go crazy, start taking their clothes off because that spirit is tormenting them, and they got to appease them demons. Because the spirit is trying to get them to do it, because he knows you have the attention and influence of millions, and if you do it, they'll do it. So I got to torment you to do it.
Did Justin Bieber predict the pandemic over 3 years before it happened? No. Is the earth really flat, and is the government lying to us? No.
Cartoon conspiracies that will ruin your childhood. Part 3.
Crazy Steve murdered the entire Drake and Josh family, kidnapping Megan and bringing her to Seattle, creating iCarly. During the Storm episode, Crazy Steve was able to see the lovely family dynamic that they had, something that he's been missing for so long. After months of deliberation, he took action, killing Drake and Josh and murdering the parents as well. He then kidnapped Megan and brought her to Seattle, where, due to the trauma, was able to coerce her into thinking that he was her brother Spencer Shay, and that her name was truly Carly. However, she wasn't fully coerced. In one last attempt to be recognized, she created the show iCarly, with a dream and a hope that someone would truly recognize her. Is this one too hard for you to believe? Or does it just make your childhood that much more interesting?
Conspiracy theory that Dua Lipa's accent is fake.
What is Dua Lipa's accent? Honestly, I have no idea. British, on most occasions. Speak Spanish? Oh, I don't, but I bloody wish I did.
Something about the way she used bloody feels forced.
Maybe this should be my New Year's resolution, is learn Spanish. Who is Dua Lipa's mum? My mum is an angel sent from above. Her name is Anessa, and she's my rock and my superhero.
Here's some of the greatest conspiracy theories of all time. Michael Jackson, also known as the King of Pop, was one of the most popular singers, songwriters, and dancers of the 20th century. Made famous by his voice, songs, and the also famous moonwalk, he became an all-time favorite amongst society. On June 25th, 2009, less than 3 weeks before his This Is It